settlers owned the land. I mean, from where the Indians owned the land and the settlers took it.
Oh, the settler, yeah,
right.
the Indians.
And the war, in the Battle of Horseshoe Bend, they defeat it was the Creek Indians. They took it from them in the Battle of Horseshoe Bend.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Now this one, antebellum prosperity. This is when the slaves came into where they started. I mean, those don't look like extras, they look too happy to be the slaves or later on. But this is when people they started buying slaves and owning slaves. You see how they lived and how the slaves lived.
Right. So these are from where? This is frontier, so-called. Yeah. It's
1820 to 1860.
It's only 40 years in here.
Yeah.
So the slave trade. It's the slave trade starts. Right?
Yeah, basically. Okay. This
is from
when
1860.
Andrew Jackson was
that's only
placed into
20
office,
years.
Right. Andrew Jackson was placed into office as a Confederate president. And they went to war. This is the war, the Civil War. Where the North fought the South.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody thinks that the fight took place because somebody wanted to own America. Not necessarily so. They wanted to abolish the things that were happening.
Mm.
The South wanted to keep it the way it was, with slavery and everything.
Yep.
The North wanted to change that.
Right.
It was the North actually trying to change slavery. That's why everybody used to run up to the North. Now this is the age of advancement. The Wright brothers' first motorized airplane that flew through here.
Oh, the Wright brothers flew through here.
That's their airplane. That's a model of the airplane that's up the hill at the Wright brothers' park.
You mean they live here or they flew over here?
They lived here and they flew here.
They live here.
At one point, yes. They started teaching people how, when they mastered aviation, how to fly airplanes because they knew that it was going to be a big part of the future. And also, the first electric trolley came through Montgomery. It was called the Lightning Route.
Oh, hey. Okay.
This is the steam engine train.
Yeah.
Remember I told you that they used slaves to build the tracks for the steam engine train so they can move slaves back and forth through the South. Later, they had the fountain place there over the slave market, but you don't see.
So
they don't show you that that's what a slave market is, do they?
Say that again.
They did not. They don't show you that where the fountain is actually where they sold slaves at.
Where is? I'm sorry. You mean the
fountain that
fountain?
I have it on my phone.
What fountain?
The fountain at Court Square.
Yeah.
That we were standing by.
Oh, you mean the tunnel?
Inside the fountain is where they used to sell the slaves.
Right. What's that got to do with the steam engine?
They didn't show. They're not showing.
Oh, here's
that
the
they're
fountain.
only showing the fountain. They didn't even show it on the one where they showed slaves or where they were starting to buy. They don't show a lot of things and they don't tell a lot of things, even though it's prevalent and known that that's where it happened.
Right. They don't want to. They don't want to.
They don't want everybody to
they don't
know
want to
about
know
certain
about
things.
it. Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Oh.
This. World War II.
World War II.
The Tuskegee Airmen flew and the Red Tails. Because of the Red Tails, the Tigers and the Tuskegee Airmen, air base was instituted. Everybody from all over comes to air base, even outside of the country, to learn how to do aviation.
Okay.
To be taught how to do aviation. That's why air base is one of the biggest, and they have two. And they're huge military cities.
Oh, in here?
Here.
Why is it in here?
Because this is where basically the Wright brothers.
Oh, the Wright brothers started. Yeah, okay. So World War II.
That was World War II. During the Depression when Hank Aaron came out.
Who?
Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron, the country singer.
Oh, the country singer.
He was from here, yeah. He's buried in a
Is that Hank Williams?
Hank Williams.
It's the same guy?
It's the same one. He's
I
buried
saw.
in the
Also, that's when the country singers,
yeah,
country singer
one
start.
of the biggest country singers yet. Now this
Hank Williams.
is the civil rights movement.
Civil rights movement, yes.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes.
standing up at top. That's supposed to have been a march from Selma to the Capitol. Up at the top.
Mm-hmm. It's a Selma County, right? Selma where? It's a long way, Selma County
Selma
to here.
is 56 miles, the city of Selma.
Yeah, so they walk all 50,
They didn't walk just in one day now. A lot of people would think that they walked. No, it took them almost a week for that walk.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, Selma is
and the bus
far away. Huh?
The bus boycott down at the bottom of it.
Boycott, yeah.
Right here. With Rosa Parks sitting on the bench.
Okay, boycott.
Right.
Right.
Sitting at the bus stop bench. You don't see Rosa Parks sitting in no bus. She wasn't arrested for sitting on the bus.
She wasn't arrested for sitting.
She was arrested for disorderly conduct.
Disorderly conduct of what?
Because when they tried to get her to leave the bus, she got irate with them. So they got her for disorderly conduct, not sitting on the bus.
Oh, not sitting on the bus. Oh, of course, yeah.
Right. Now this, I like this one. This one is the hope of the future. When you see all people coming together.
What is it called? The new millennium. Oh.
Right. The advancement of all people with education and commerce, but it's still dividing. Because even though we have schools, they still have the right to segregate some schools. You know that?
No, I don't.
They still have the right to segregate schools.
They still have the right to segregate schools.
Have blacks at one school and have whites at another school. They have that right.
Say in Montgomery.
Yes.
Or in Alabama. Is it statewide or
It's statewide.
Statewide.
Statewide. Alabama is one of the states who have not fully conformed to the union.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's several of them who have not conformed to the union. And they have to go by federal government guidelines.
Right.
But their own city guidelines, they can institute whatever they want to and work it the way they want to, as long as it does not overstep what the government says. And the government doesn't say much.
Doesn't say
They
too
only
much,
say certain things. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do. Okay, we'll do this, do that, do the other, but we'll do it this way. We'll add that into it, and that's what they do.
What about right now, as far as you know, the elementary school?
They still have the right to segregate. They're still pushing.
Is it still segregated now, or what do you think?
There are certain schools who are still segregated.
Public schools?
Blacks at one school, public schools.
Public schools?
Public schools. At certain private schools, black people can't even get in.
So they can refuse on the color of your skin.
They can use anything they want to use to say, but they can refuse you. But it still comes down to the same issue: racial divide. Now we go this way, and one block up, we'll go right to Martin Luther King Jr.'s church.
Okay.
Well, Martin Luther King Jr., he was young. I think it was 22, 23 when he became a pastor of this church.
Okay.
And that was after he was given the rights over to lead the civil rights movement. There was another pastor before that. I can't remember his name, but he was straightforward. He would not lie. He'd tell you the truth. The last time, if you look at the forerunner, talking about Martin Luther King Jr., who came before him, he was a pastor at Martin Luther King Jr.'s church. And the last time he spoke at the church, they asked him to do a funeral. Not Martin Luther King, the other one. When he did the funeral, he told them the truth about the man. He was a wino, he was a drunk, he was no good, he was a liar. He was an abuser. What else can I say about him? That was the last time that man ever spoke at that museum, at that church again. Then they thought Martin Luther King Jr., he's young, he's impressionable. We can mold him to the way that we want to. This way. We want to. But the problem is Martin Luther King was straightforward. He was hard-nosed. They couldn't mold him and make him lie or do anything other than the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they had somebody just as rough as the original pastor. The difference is when Martin Luther King Jr. spoke, he spoke with authority, and he was the member, he was the leader of the civil rights movement. Who better to have at the head of your church than somebody who's done something so monumental, who's changed so much? So we'll deal with him. He ain't changed nothing, so we're not going to deal with him. But once he became the pastor, they did not know that Martin Luther King Jr. would be so hard-nosed, so straightforward, so tough, and stand on the truth. They thought they could change him. Just like in any place, if I think I can use you and mold you the way I want you, to do the way I want you to do, then I can get rid of him, who I'm having a problem with, because he wanted to do it the hard-nosed, straight way that they told him to do it, and he won't bend a little bit.
Right.
Martin Luther King did not bend. Now, we had to cross the street. And that is this church. Red and white.
Oh, we only have 4 seconds?
Yeah, we're not.
Well, we're just having hold on.
Yeah, we don't make it.
We're not going to make it.
No.
What is this on the building on the right?
That was a federal building.
Federal building?
It was a federal building. Really, it was a federal government tradition building.
Okay.
And it has a sign up there. I think it was Freemason Institute. I'm not sure. But not many people read that sign because
That's okay.
it's part of Montgomery history, but it's not part of what everybody really come for.
To see, okay. It's not part of the
Black history.
Okay.
That's what most people come and see.
So this is the White House.
That is the Confederate White House. I haven't seen many people go in and out of there.
No?
And this is the first time I ever seen lights lit up on top of that park. First time ever, so maybe they're changing things and want to do something else.
Okay.
There, maybe they're gonna, I know there's a museum up there.
Okay.
I don't know when it opens or if it's open, but that's basically over this way is where the archives are.
Okay.
Certain days is free, certain days is not. A certain day is free.
This is Alabama Education Association?
Yes.
This building?
This is where they instituted the Education Association. It's supposed to be for all people to get the right to good, quality, and free education. All of this up here is government, really.
Government building?
Government building. Except for one building that I know of that is not a government building but need to be.
Which is this
King
one?
Jr.
Which is
Church.
this one, right? Okay.
This is the church that Martin Luther King Jr. spoke at when they stopped from the walk at Selma. This is the church where he stood and spoke at when they made it into Montgomery. This sign is a memorial to Martin Luther King Jr.
Here.
And this sign, this tells you exactly when Martin Luther King Jr. became pastor. In 1954, he became pastor. That's the same time that the civil rights movement was being set in place, and the bus boycott was organized, right? But this is when it actually started.
From 1954
In 1954 is when everything actually started. This is when they put it into effect, when they organized it, 1955. But this is when Martin Luther King Jr. became pastor at this church. And he instituted the walk, civil rights movement.
It's only 6 years.
It's not been young, right? It's only been what, 64, 65 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So it didn't take place that long ago.
No,
and a lot
no,
of people
it's not.
think that it's been like hundreds of years.
No.
Not so.
Do you think a lot of progress been made since then?
A lot of progress, but even with the progress that's being made, a lot of stuff is being held back, and a lot of the progress that could have been made greater is being slowed down.
You think?
Yeah. Okay, I will give you enough progress so that you'll be happy. I'll desegregate. I'll give you the right to go wherever you want to store, speak wherever you want to speak. But I'm not going to take away the law that I can use against you sometime in the future to get everything back the way I want it.
You're saying, huh?
Instituted. Why else didn't they change it? Why
Right.
didn't they change the law? They gave you the rights, but they didn't change the law, which
Right.
means that if the law is still in effect, it can be used again in the future.
But we have a free election right now. Don't you think we can,
Free election?
well, not
Okay.
free election, huh?
It's not really, okay.
Why don't we just
People
vote it
are
out
supposed
the
to be
mayors of
vote
Montgomery?
and elect the person that they want,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Then how come, what they call them, okay, it's the majority vote, or what is it called?